So we are going to solve this problem. Lead code number 22, generate parenthesis. Okay. So we are going to solve this problem. Yeah, let us read this problem. Given n pairs of parentheses, uh, write a function to generate all combinations of well-formed parentheses. Well-formed parentheses like this. Got it. We wanna use recursion. Let us understand what is the question. Says that n equals to 3, we have in open brackets and in closing brackets. We have to make well-formed parentheses. We try to make well-formed parentheses. N equals 3. Okay. Um, so we have brackets as open brackets 3 and closing brackets is also 3. Okay. Open brackets 3, closing brackets 3. Now you have output. We're gonna give it answer and just return that. Okay, so we have output, we have open brackets, we have closing brackets. It is now empty. So open brackets, closing brackets are like 3 3. Okay, we're gonna add open brackets. We can't add closing brackets to get a well-formed parenthesis at first. So then we have two choices. Open brackets we can put and closing bracket we can put. Open bracket is now become 2 and closing bracket is 3 only. Okay, if we put open brackets again, open bracket is 1, closing bracket is 3. Yeah. And if you put closing brackets, its open bracket is 1, no, 2, and closing bracket is 2. Okay, okay. Now then uh now we can see our observation here that if it is equal, then we just put a open bracket. So here open bracket closing bracket are 2 2, so we have to put closing bracket. So sorry, open bracket. Got it? We can't put closing brackets. Yeah, in every step we are doing like open bracket, we have choice of putting open bracket. Yeah, but for closing bracket we are doing something, we are seeing something that if o matlab open bracket is greater, sorry, smaller than the closing bracket, then we have a choice of putting a closing bracket. Okay, now since it is open bracket is smaller than closing bracket, so we have a choice of putting a closing bracket. Open bracket is there, you can put, but here there is a choice of putting a closing bracket. Now open bracket has reached 0 and closing bracket has um 3 only. Here open bracket is 2 1 and closing bracket will be 2. You can put. Now here only you can put closing bracket only. Very smaller, we have two choices. Wait. Open bracket is lesser than the closing bracket. So we can put another closing bracket and open bracket. I will show you. Wait a minute. Let me just write it. Mm. Mm-hmm. Got it. So see, in all the steps we are doing, like we are pushing open brackets, but for closing brackets, we only put closing bracket when output is sorry, O, that means open bracket is smaller smaller than closing bracket, and also when open bracket is 0. So let us code it. And when open bracket and closing bracket are 0 0, then also we just put this answer to our vector. So if we try to code it pretty nicely, we can code like we have a vector where it is called answer, which will store all the strings. We have the string of output, which will have nothing, let's say nothing. Then we have open brackets, which is, let's say, n, so that we do not need n. Then closing bracket is something n. Then solve solve, we need open bracket, closing bracket, output and answer. Okay, and then return the answer, which will be passed by reference. Pretty simple. Solve. So void solve, mm, int o, int c, string output, vector of string answer. Okay, and it should be passed by reference. And because it is changing, output is changing, we do not pass it by reference. Which is changing, we do not pass it by reference, we just pass it by value. What is the base case? If o 0 and c 0, then base case is hit. That means we just answer dot push back, answer dot push back output, and then return. Got it? Answer dot push back that output, which will have the value. Mhm. So we are putting our bracket, like opening bracket, in all the cases. uh, until it is 0. All the, you see, all the, we have choice of putting opening brackets, but but for the closing brackets we have a relation that closing bracket, opening bracket is smaller than closing bracket. That means, uh, if we think oppositely, that means opening bracket is more. Opening bracket is more, so we need a closing bracket to have a choice. mm-hmm. Pretty nice, you can think of. So let us, um the relation is that if not, opening bracket is not 0. If it is not, like 0 is not opening bracket is 0, तक ओपनिंग ब्रैकेट 0 नहीं हो जाता, तब तक हम पुश कर सकते हैं. Let's say string output 1 will have output which is empty, and we can put a opening bracket. What I can put a opening bracket. Okay, and we just call the function which opening bracket is put, then -1, closing bracket is, we not do anything on closing brackets, so it will be as it is, and answer. Then if opening brackets is less than, that means opening brackets are more than closing brackets, then only we have a string, let's say output 2, which will have the output plus closing brackets. So solve, yeah, solve, put no change, closing -1 to answer. Hmm, what? See, coding is not a tough. Thinking of like how to solve this problem, drawing the recursion tree is more tougher than code it. Coding is not a very big deal, but to understand to what to do in this problem is far more complicated than solving it. Like thinking of this, like you have to think like opening a bracket is there, when to add, why I have added it, like I have added it all the time. So when we are not adding, we just have to think that if it is not that opening bracket is not 0, then we just make our output 1, then we have pushed it and output is -1. uh okay, we just put it, we do not care about anything, we just put it opening brackets. When it is 0, we just don't do anything. Then when it is also there is a case of closing bracket, that if opening bracket is smaller, that means o means opening bracket count is smaller than closing bracket, that means opening bracket is more, we need closing brackets, we can put closing brackets. So output 2 will have this. Okay, opening brackets is done, then closing brackets will be doing, and put 2 plus c-1. Pretty simple. If you get the concept now, it will be very easier for you to solve. Not a very big deal. Hope you like this video. uh Take time to subscribe, watch other videos, like, share, and uh bye.